grade 10. So in this video, we want to go through a question paper of November 2023 from the Gauteng province. So of course, we are going to start on the instructions and information. That's where the section that we are going to start with. And then obviously we are going to proceed to the question part, whereby we are going to present the questions and the answers. So of course, this is our instructions and information, whereby information number 1, you have to answer 4 questions as follows. In the answer book, we've got section A, section B, and section C. Of course, section A is compulsory. You've got section B, where you have to answer 2 of the 3 questions, and then section C, you answer 1 of the 2 questions. So basically, this is our first part, where we have got the instructions and information. And of course, we take note that we are going to start on the section A, where it is compulsory. Of course, our section A is starting on multiple choice section. So of course, we are going to refer to our marking guideline, where we are going to have the correct answers aligning with the questions that we have in the question paper. So on the first question, world markets are known as, of course, the correct response that we have is A, which is global markets. Remember, global markets represent markets that represent all over the world. So they are global markets. So we go to number 2. A perfect market is characterized by, so the correct answer is homogeneous products, whereby homogeneous products, they are similar products or same products. So it means in a perfect market, we only have similar products that are not differentiated. So one of the main characteristics of a perfect market. Of course, we have got other characteristics of a perfect market. For example, we have got many sellers and buyers that characterize the perfect market. And also we know that firms that operate in a perfect market, they are price takers. The price is determined in the market by the forces of supply and demand. There is existence of the price mechanism. So very important in some of the characteristics that we have under the perfect market. Then we also go to number 3. This factor will lead to an outward movement of the PPC. Remember, when we have got an outward movement of the PPC, it means the capacity to produce is increased. In other words, we are having more resources than what we used to have. So we have more capacity to produce. So it will lead to an outward movement of the PPC. So we have different responses that we have that can lead to an outward movement of PPC. We have got improved technology. We see that improved technology, remember, technology is part of capital as a resource or as a factor of production. So if there is an improvement in the resources, obviously the capacity is also increased. So we're going to have an outward shift on the PPC. So A is the correct response. Go number 4. The government discourages the use of harmful products by, and of course we also have various responses on that part. So the correct answer that we have is charging indirect taxes. So remember, indirect taxes can also describe the issue of VAT, that is value added tax. So when those taxes are increased on harmful products, it means also the price is also going to increase, so making it more expensive. So in that case, remember the relationship that we have between price and quantity demanded. So when the price increases, quantity demanded is going to fall, and thereby we are controlling the purchase of those harmful products. So that is what we have. So we have B as the correct response on number 4. Number 5, South Africa currently has an undersupply of dash labor. So the correct response that we have is skilled labor. So that's what we have. So when we have an undersupply of skilled labor, it also means they have to import some of the gap that they have, so that they close the gap. So they import the labor from other countries. So this is what we have. Then on number 6, we are going to have at the age of 18, a person is able to act freely and independently. So the correct response is majorification, which we are having on C. Then we go to the next question, which is now going to be number 7. Which of the following organizations protects and fights for the rights of employees? So this is the labor union, and that is B. Then we go to number 8. The department is responsible for a country's marine resources, which is the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. So moving on to now 1.2 now. 1.2, you have to choose a description from column B that matches an item in column A, right on the letter A to I. So the first term that we have is the perfect market. We have described the perfect market as a market characterized by many buyers and sellers, and the firms operating in that market being price takers. So the most appropriate description that matches perfect market is B, a market in which a single supplier cannot manipulate the price. Remember, we are saying the price takers, they are price takers, so they cannot whatsoever manipulate the price. So that makes B the perfect match that we have for 1.2.1. Then we've got complementary goods. So the correct response again. Remember, we've got responses that are from A to I. So we are supposed to choose from that list. So complementary goods, remember, they are goods that can be used at the same time. They are supposed to be used at the same time. So we have got H, goods that are used in combination with other goods. So basically that's what we have. They are used at the same time. These are complementary goods. So we go to productive efficiency. The appropriate match that we have it on E. We say this is achieved when it is not possible for an economy to allocate its scarce resources to produce more of one good without producing less of another good. So that's the response that we have on 1.2.3. 1.2.4, South African Revenue Services, which is SARS. So which explanation matches SARS? Of course, we see that it collects taxes on behalf of the South African government. Very important. So we also go to the next one, which is affirmative action, and affirmative action matches G, a policy that tries to reduce discrimination by ensuring equal opportunity in employment. So that is what we have on that one. Then we move on to unemployment insurance fund, which is the UIF. So UIF, we have got I, salaries and wages that labor demands. So we have I as the most appropriate explanation that is matching. Of course, we have got the unemployment insurance fund. We see that the correct one that we have is we can just recheck and see which one is the correct match that we have. Of course, unemployment insurance fund, we have correct answer as D. This is an insurance scheme that provides temporary income for people who have lost their jobs. So D is the most appropriate. So we can correct that. We move on to the next one, which is labor force participation rate. We have an explanation that we have on F, a formula used to express the percentage of the population that is presenting itself for work. So it's F for number 7. Or number 8, cost of labor. Of course, labor is the human effort that has been contributed by the workers. So we check in terms of our responses to see that these are salaries and wages that labor demands. So I is most appropriate. So this is the last one that we have in terms of our 1.2. Then from there we move on to 1.3. So 1.3 now we have to give one term for each of the following descriptions by writing only the term next to the question numbers. We start with 1.3.1, a product that can be used in place of another product to satisfy one's end needs. We know that this is a this represents a substitute, so we are having substitute product that is our correct response on 1.3.1. Then from there we move on to the next question, a market where there is only one supplier of a good, which is monopolizing a monopoly. Then we go to a wage rate set by the government below which no employer can pay their workers, and it is set above the equivalent wage rate. So this is the minimum wage. And 1.3.4, a forced layoff of employees by a firm, usually to cut down its payroll. It is a retrenchment. And then labor is used to produce goods and services. So we're talking about labor-intensive production. and we've got programs aimed at unemployed young people who are out of school, and SMMEs. We have skills program is the correct description that we can give. So this marks the end of our section A. We can see that our section A has got a total of 30 marks, and from there we are moving on to the next section. So remember, the purpose of this video is to present to you the question paper and the marking guideline. So those who are interested in more question papers, you can subscribe to this channel and also share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 10 economics. From the next stage, we are going to present the questions, and we align them to the correct responses from our marking guideline.